Senator Plett.
Thank you, Speaker. Senator Gold, I'll turn back to you again today and have a question for you. Senator Gold, even before the NDP Liberal government began congratulating itself for calling a public inquiry into the use of the Emergencies Act, a public inquiry it was bound by law to establish, there were signs this government has no intentions of providing transparency regarding its decision to invoke this act. Last month, the NDP Liberal government refused to provide all relevant information surrounding the use of the Emergencies Act in relation to a case launched in federal court by several groups, including the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. Leader, how does hiding cabinet documents from both the court and the public inquiry demonstrate openness and transparency on the part of your NDP Liberal government?
Senator Gold.
Thank you for the question. As anyone in this chamber with legal background knows, and certainly experienced parliamentarians who have worked in committees would know, that the law of Canada and the Canada Evidence Act explicitly recognizes, as all democratic countries do, the balance that needs to be struck between the disclosure of documents relevant to litigation and those rules of privilege that protect the disclosure of documents that would be injurious, in this case, to national security or potentially other interests such as privacy concerns, confidential information, and the like. It's the role of the courts to determine whether or not those rules are properly invoked, and the Government of Canada has every confidence in the courts to do their job appropriately, to make sure that all relevant information is disclosed, but that information that is otherwise properly protected by privilege remains so.
Plett.
Well, thank you for that lesson in law. We also know that the government sues the Speaker when he rules against them. In August 2019, after the Ethics Commissioner, Mario Dion, reported that the Prime Minister broke the law. How about that? Broke the law in relation to the SNC-Lavalin scandal. The Prime Minister told Canadians, and I quote, "We fully cooperated with the Commissioner on this matter." In fact, Ethics Commissioner Mario Dion said in his report that 9 witnesses informed his office that they had information they believed to be relevant, but could not be disclosed because it would reveal cabinet confidence. The Ethics Commissioner raised this directly with the Prime Minister, and he still refused access to all cabinet confidence. Leader, this isn't a case of history. Isn't this a case of history repeating itself? Next year, when Justice Rollo's commission reports on the use of the Emergencies Act, won't we hear the exact same thing about lack of access to witnesses and cabinet confidences? And won't we hear the Prime Minister once again claiming he is being fully cooperative when he has done no such thing?
Senator Gold.
Thank you for the question. You know, sometimes one lives in the past, and sometimes one lives in the future, and sometimes one must deal with the present. I cannot predict the future, Honourable Senator. My constitutional law professor, Lawrence Tribe, once quipped that if you lived by the crystal ball, you will be condemned to eat glass. My stomach is not strong enough to do that. The Government of Canada has confidence in the justice who will be administering the public inquiry. It has confidence in the Joint Parliamentary Committee that is looking into this. And most importantly, it has confidence in the laws of Canada that recognize the necessity for certain kinds of interactions within Cabinet to remain confidential. And this Government of Canada, and indeed previous governments of Canada, and here I will predict future governments of Canada, will insist on the maintenance and integrity of this principle and will stand in defense of this principle regardless of, in this case, dredging up matters from the past.